Hello, you guys. How are you? How are you? How are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. For those of you that are joining me on my YouTube channel, thank you so very much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Listen, I'm wanting to get my subscriptions up. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing this information. Thank you for your comments. Please keep them coming. For those of you that are listening in on my podcast, Fundable by Design, you know that I love and appreciate all of your thoughts, all of your comments, all of your emails. They really encourage me. And I'm so happy that the information that I am sharing is really helping take your organization to the next level. That's what this is all about. Making sure that you're not just starting your nonprofit organization, but you know how to run it and how to sustain it. All right. So let me say something to you as we get into this. All right. For those of you that are new to me, my name is Jennifer. I am your nonprofit expert, 40 years of experience helping organizations not just start, but to put together the systems, the structure, the processes to bring in the money so that your organization is able to pay for the expenses of the program and of the operations. All right. So I want to ask you something. For those of you that have started your nonprofit organization, for those of you that are thinking about starting your nonprofit organization, I want to ask you something. Did you build your nonprofit by starting the program first? I'm going to say that again. Did you build your nonprofit by starting the program first? You started helping people. You started doing the work. You started serving. But now the money isn't consistent. The pressure to keep that program going is growing. You're paying out of your own pocket. And you're trying to figure out, why does it feel so hard? I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why. And it's not because your mission is wrong. It's because you built the part that people can see and skipped the part that makes it sustainable. I'm going to say that again. Right now, you started your nonprofit organization and you are feeling like it is hard, right? Jen, I started my nonprofit because I wanted to help single moms. I started my nonprofit, Jen, because I wanted to do an after school program. I started my nonprofit, Jen, because I wanted to do mentoring. Jen, I started my nonprofit organization because I wanted to help the homeless, right? So you wanted to help. And when you started your nonprofit, you got your 501c3, you launched into the program. And once you launched into the program, you started feeling the pressure of paying for everything out of your pocket. No donors, no supporters, no contributors, no help. You're doing everything out of your own pocket. And now you feel the pressure. Am I talking to somebody? I'm going to show you why. It's not because your mission is wrong. It's because you built the part that people can see, the program, and skipped the part that makes it sustainable, the organization. Stay with me, because once you see this, you can fix it. All right? Most of you start here. I want to help people. And so you begin the program. You start the mentoring program. You start the after school program. You start the youth serving program, right? You start the literacy program. You start the backpack drive. You start giving out P&J sandwiches to the homeless, right? You start serving. You start serving, you start giving. And in your mind, this is the nonprofit. Jen, I started my nonprofit to help. I started my nonprofit to feed to feed homeless people. I started my nonprofit to help single moms. I started my nonprofit to help the youth, right? So in your mind, that is the nonprofit. But here's the truth. The program is what you do. The organization is what sustains it. I'm going to say that again. You launched the program and you began to do the feeding, the clothing, the giving away backpacks, the helping single moms, right? The program is what you do. The organization is what sustains it. And those are not the same thing. I'm going to give you some analogies. All right. Let me show you what this looks like. Imagine you start a food pantry, right? And you start collecting food. You start collecting food and you start giving it out. You start helping families. And it feels good. It looks like impact. But you never built a system for how the food is donated, how inventory is tracked, how partnerships are created, how supply is sustained. So what happens? You run out, right? All the food you collected, you gave it away, and now you've run out. Now you're scrambling. Now you're stressed. Now you're paying for food yourself. That's exactly what many of you are doing with money. That's exactly what you all are doing with money. You're giving it out. But you never built the system to bring the money in. You're giving it out. You're paying for everything out of your pocket. You're paying for the program. You're paying for materials. You're paying for supplies. You're paying for the equipment. You're paying for the gas. You're paying for the lights. You're paying for the phone. You're paying for the website. You're paying for the internet. You're paying for everything. Money going out. But you never built the system to bring money in. Let me give you another way to see it. All right. Imagine opening a store and you set everything up, right? You set everything up. You set up the shelves, you set up the products, you're doing the branding, you set up the space, right? You got all the materials, you got all the supplies, you got all the equipment, you set up everything. And everything looks ready. But you never set up how are we going to find customers? How are they going to buy? How is money going to get collected? How do sales happen? So now you're standing in a fully built store with no revenue, no money coming in. And that's what your nonprofit feels like right now. You built the program. You started delivering the program. You set the program up. And you're doing the program and you're like, oh my gosh, I got the program all together. But you never built the system that brings in the money to sustain the program. Let me take it one step further. Are y'all still with me? Let me take it one step further. You build a car. You build a car and it looks amazing, right? You built the car, it looks amazing. The body is there, the seats are there, the paint is perfect. But there's no engine. It looks good, but it doesn't move. That's what happened. That's what happens when you build a nonprofit without infrastructure. People see your passion, they see your effort, they see your program. But without the organizational systems, structures, and processes to bring in the money, it doesn't move forward. It doesn't move forward. It's stuck. Now let's talk about why this keeps happening. Why does this keep happening? Number one, you were taught to start with paperwork, right? When you typed in, you searched, how do I start a nonprofit? And you saw file the paperwork, get a 501c3, create your bylaws. So you thought, I started the nonprofit. No, you formed it. You didn't build it. Number two, you were told funding, money is going to come after. After you start your nonprofit, you can get a grant that you don't have to pay back, right? Free money. You were told, get your nonprofit and you can get money. Money's going to come later, right? You're going to fundraise later. You're going to get donors later. You're going to get grants later. You're going to get partners later. You're going to get sponsors later. And you heard, start the program, then raise money. So you did. But now you're stuck. Because fundraising is not something you add later. It's something you build from the beginning. But that's not what you were taught. So that's why you're paying for everything out of your pocket. Because funding was to come later, but it hasn't come. And now you're stuck. Number three, you didn't know what you didn't know. You didn't know what you didn't know. Most of you have never seen a working donor system, a functioning board, a structured fundraising plan. Most of you have never seen it. You've never worked in a nonprofit. You've never run a nonprofit. You've never set up a nonprofit. So you built from what you could see, the program. When you see a nonprofit, you see program, and so that's what you build, the program. But but that's not the organization. Let's talk about the real cost. Because you think the problem is I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money, Jen. Money's my biggest challenge. Jen, we don't have enough money to run the program. Jen, I need donors. Jen, I need a grant. Jen, I need sponsors. Jen, we have to do fundraisers. Jen, I need my board to help us raise money. Because now you don't have enough money. But here's what you are actually paying. You're using your own money, your own time, your stress, your missed opportunities, your delayed growth. You're actually paying. You're burnt out. You're anxious. You're afraid. You know something's wrong. You just don't know how to fix it. And the longer you wait, the more expensive it becomes to fix. Here's the shift that many of you have to make. You have to stop asking, how do I get money? How do I get a grant? How do I get donors? How do I get partners? How do I get sponsors? You got to stop asking that question and start asking, how do I build the organization, the systems, the processes that consistently brings money in? It's not the how can I get money? No, it's how do I build my organization to bring in the money that it's supposed to bring in? Because the program is an expense. The program doesn't bring in money. The program is an expense. The organization is structured, is designed, has the infrastructure to bring the money in to sustain the program. Let me say this: funding follows structure, it does not follow program. Funding follows the organizational structure, the systems, the processes, the ways that money comes in. Funding follows structure, not program. I want you to ask yourself something honestly. I want you to ask yourself, did I build the program before the organizational systems, the infrastructure to bring in the money? Ask yourself, do I have a way for money to consistently come into the organization? Or am I just out here hoping that it will happen on its own? Because your answer to that is your next step. Your answer to that is your next step. If you're realizing I've been building this backwards, then don't keep guessing. Don't keep guessing. Next week, I have 3 days. I've got a 3-day mastermind in Houston, Texas, May 6th, 7th, and 8th. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 days. You can be there in person if you are in the Houston area, or you can join us online. All right, 3 days, Monday, May 6th, 7th, and 8th. This is not a typical training. You're not there to take notes. You're coming to build your structure, your organizational structure. You're coming to create your money system. You're coming to position your organization to sustain itself. Because without the structure or the infrastructure, that's never going to happen. Many of you started your nonprofit organizations not knowing what you don't know. You started it and you started paying for everything out of your own pocket. You started paying for the materials, the supplies, the equipment, the program. You start paying for the website. You start paying for the trainings. You start paying for everything. You started the nonprofit organization to rely on you to sustain it, instead of starting the nonprofit organization to bring in the money to sustain itself. Listen, you didn't fail. You just built the part that people can see without building the part, the organization, that makes it sustainable. And now you know. And now you can fix it. Money is not your problem. Your organization is designed and structured to bring in the money, right? That's how it's designed. That's how it's supposed to be structured. You're supposed to get grants. You're supposed to get donations. You're supposed to get sponsorships. You're supposed to get in kind. You're supposed to have fundraisers. You're supposed to have partnerships. You're supposed to have collaborations. You're supposed to have products and services, program fees. That's 9 ways that money is supposed to come into your organization. You're supposed to have all of those ways that money comes into your organization, all of which you don't have to pay back. But because you started it, for the organization to rely on you, now you're paying for everything. No, Jen, we don't have any other money coming in. No, Jen, we don't have any donors. No, Jen, we don't have any funders. No, Jen, I'm doing everything by myself. No, Jen, I have board members, but they're not helping me raise money. Why? Because you built it. You structured it to rely on you. That's why it's heavy. That's why you stressed out. That's why you scared. That's why you scared. Because you're like, oh my gosh, what else? What else do I have to do? I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that. Instead of saying, how do I set this organization up so it can bring in the money it's supposed to, so that it can sustain itself? And until you make that mind shift, until you shift your thinking, and realize that if I don't set up this organization, if I don't structure this organization the right way to bring in the money, you are going to keep having to foot the bill for that organization. That's how you built it. And that's not the way it's supposed to be built. But nobody told you that. That's not what you were taught. I'm just here to say, listen, let's fix it. Let's fix it. Let's put the organization together so that it's able to raise money. It's supposed to. It is designed to support itself. All you got to say is, I'm ready to fix it. Listen, many of you need a mind shift. Many of you need a mind shift. And you need some knowledge. You need some coaching. You need some help because you all are trying to do something you've never done. You are trying to do something that you've never done. Not that you can't do it. No one showed you how to do it. No one showed you how to do it. No one showed you what to do. And until you know what to do, It's not going to be done. Listen, my name is Jennifer. I am your nonprofit expert. 40 years as a nonprofit strategist. I raise money for nonprofits. I show nonprofits how to raise money for themselves. I show organizations how they should be structured to bring in money. I'm the only one that does this. This is not, I want to learn how to do grants. I want to learn how to fundraise. I want to get board members. That's pieces. There is one solid structure that is designed to bring in money so that the organization can sustain itself. And until you all make the shift, you are going to keep paying for everything out of that organization. You're going to keep paying it. That's it. All right. I will be in Houston, May 6th, 7th, and 8th. You can join online. If you are looking for coaching, if you guys are looking for one-on-ones, if you guys are looking for the help that you need to put together your organizational structure, this is your opportunity. Okay? This is your opportunity. If you would like to know more about how to work with me, if you would like to know more about what it takes and what it looks like to quickly put your organization together, reach out. Let's have a conversation. And in the subject matter, say, Jen, I'm ready to fix it. I'm ready to fix it. You're already spending the money. You're spending the money on everything. You're spending the money on materials, on supplies, on gas, on the phone, on the internet. You're not getting a salary. Nobody's getting a salary. Money's only going out. Money is only going out. I say take that money and put the organization together so that the organization can bring in money. You're going to spend the money either way. You can either spend it on a program that goes out, no money coming back. It just goes out. How long y'all been paying? Some of y'all have been paying for your program out of your own pocket. 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, 5 years, 6 years, 9 years more. Money going out. Jen, I'm paying for everything out of my pocket. Jen, we don't have any salaries. Nobody's getting paid. Jen, I'm paying for everything. I don't have any help. I don't have boards, I don't have donors, I don't have a fundraising plan, I don't have a fundraising strategy, we don't have a budget. I'm paying for everything out of my pocket, Jen. So you are paying for everything out of your pocket. Let me tell you the better use. Put the money in putting together the structure for the organization to bring in the money so that the organization can sustain itself. Something for you to think about. There's only two ways to go here. Either you put the organization together to sustain itself, or you keep paying out of your pocket. Either way, you are going to pay. And you're going to pay a whole lot more by not knowing how the organization brings in money. Thank you all for listening. If you all are ready to fix it, send me an email, send me a message that says, Jen, I'm ready to fix it. And I'm happy to share with you how we can get you started. Again, I will be in Houston, May 6th, 7th, and 8th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For those of you that are not in the Houston area, but you want to join us online, there is a way that you can get the knowledge and the information that way as well. All right. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for for subscribing. Thank you all for sharing. And I will see you all next time.